Realized I forgot to update our charity board here. Gotta add 3 more studs. We've raised $33.82. A portion of my monthly YouTube earnings is dedicated to going to some kind of charity this November. There we go. We're gonna see how much we can fill this up. And the YouTube continues to grow too, which is exciting. Okay, we are looking at 2024 and all of last year. And I know there's a lot of videos coming out like this right now in YouTube land of other resellers doing this kind of thing. I do it every month. Sometimes I skip a month. And there was a little bit of question of should I do it quarterly? Should I do it monthly? I think for now I'm going to keep it monthly. We'll see how things are going. Some caveats here. I don't keep full-time hours, like 40 hours a week. I watch my kid multiple days a week. I'm always super flexible because if something happens with my wife's work or my kid gets sick, like I take over parenting duties majority of the time. So that's the arrangement that works for our family. And so like I don't call myself a full-time reseller because I have so many other responsibilities. And you'll see here that I do gig work on the side just to kind of subsidize things a little bit. But I have all that money still funneled through the business to keep it going. Okay. So we divided up eBay and Bricklink. Oh, something else to keep in mind. A couple things to keep in mind, actually. I moved this year, like in the middle of summer. So sourcing got super hard there for a little bit. Sales got difficult there for a little bit. So my summer it definitely wasn't as strong as it usually is. And I'm in the middle of niching down to exclusively Lego, or mostly exclusively Lego. I'll still dabble in other things, but it's been a longer and more expensive transition than I thought. But it's also, you'll see. You will see. So for December, eBay brought in a paltry $2,359.47. That's not holiday numbers. Making the total for the year $48,739.11. But speaking of the niching down aspect, I sell on a website called Bricklink, as many of you are aware, and that brought in $2,535.28. It beat eBay for the month of December, and that is wild. And for the year, it only brought in $14,685.18. Like, that's not enough to live on, but to see it, you can see it in October and November catching up to eBay. And granted, like eBay's doing this while Bricklink's doing this. And to have it overtake eBay during the month of December was huge for me. And actually, we can take a look at we're 3 days into January of this year, but already Bricklink is doubling what eBay is doing. So there you go. I didn't make any money through Amazon this year. I used to do Amazon like FBA back when I was an everything seller. So I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like the lack of control, all that jazz. So goodbye, Amazon. I do have I keep it as a category though, because I do have affiliate links. They're not getting used, but I know eventually they will, and I'll make some money there, so I keep it. YouTube, this was my first full year monetized on YouTube. Isn't that exciting? And mental note, I need to talk about this, but that brought in $1,600.87 for the year. So $162.41 for December. I did some random side gigs, like I mentioned. That brought in $405 for December, and only $605.60 for the year. So I didn't have to do a lot of that, which is exciting. I did better my gross, or even my net sales, I can tell you right now, it was my second best year. And I've been doing this 4 years. Second best year, and I didn't have to do the extra gig work to make it happen. That's the best feeling in the world. Video production, I would do some freelance video editing. I had like 2 clients, and I put no effort into them. A friend worked for a nonprofit. They needed video editing. She said, hey, I know a guy who kind of does that. And I said, sure, I'll do some. And it would bring in, let's see, last year it brought in $1,900. The year before that, it was $1,700. This year, it only brought in $590. And they typically would reach out to me around Christmas time to do a bunch of work. And that did not happen this year. Thankfully, the YouTube money more than made up for it. And it's like the YouTube money and the Lego money are like intertwined. They are one and the same in my mind. So to know that I didn't have to do all this extra work to make extra money, again, is amazing. I love that that's happening. Kind of sad, you know, I was like late November, I was like, all right, here comes that extra Christmas money. It's going to be, we can do something nice with it. It's going to be wonderful. And then it just didn't happen. So that was kind of a bummer. But to know that it didn't financially devastate me was even better. Knowing that I also have to mentally be prepared this year, like that money's probably just not going to come in. And I'm not in the freelance video editing business. And I have no desire to be, so I'm not gonna like pursue anything like that again. If something lands in my lap, of course I'll do it, but not gonna do it. Commission, I draw sometimes. I'm middling at it, but enough that people will pay me to do stuff. I made $40 doing that this year, which, yeah, hey, that's pretty cool. TikTok paid me $7.25. I'm putting no effort into TikTok, so that was a surprise that it even dropped in my account one day back in April. But nothing for the month of December there. Somebody sent me money via Linktree. That's a thing, that's an option for people to do in case they don't want to do it through YouTube or something like that. Made $5.67 this year. I'll take it. Fourth Wall was a new addition this year. That's the t-shirts and the spreadsheet I put together. I made $85 extra from there, $85.56. That's pretty rad, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. Again, it's something that I'm not putting a ton of effort into. If I have a good idea for a shirt, I'll put one together, and people will either feel compelled to buy it or they won't. I'm not gonna ever rely on that as a source of income, but it is nice that it's an extra thing. I would like to get some more shirts up, but I am not like a graphic designer really. So I'm still trying to figure out how I want to approach that. Because it's such a low stakes thing for me, I don't want to pay a bunch of money to somebody to design something if I'm only going to put very little effort into marketing it. Anyway, that's where I am at. Fees for the month of December, $666.12, for a grand total of $8,776.85. Wow. That is nuts. Shipping for December, more packages, more shipping, yada yada, $926.59. So for the year, $11,330.16. Wow. I expect this number to decrease. The Bricklink Lego packages are usually under 4 ounces, and I can make $50, $60 in 4 ounces of stuff, versus, you know, some of the eBay stuff, maybe $25, $30, but it cost me $10 to ship it. whereas the Bricklink stuff is much cheaper to ship. So I expect that number to continue to decrease. I mean, in January it was $1,100, March $1,100, June $1,000, July $1,000. So we'll see how that goes. Consignment, officially done with it. I'm not doing consignment anymore. None in December, but I did have to pay somebody $163.36. But I'm done with it. It's all done. My inclination, if something were like that were to come up again, would be say, no thank you. I will pay you a sum of money to buy your stuff, but I am probably not interested in selling it for you. Cost of goods. This one surprised me for December. I somehow managed to spend $1,000, $1,130.32 for the month of December. I actually need to go through and check that, because I wasn't shopping a ton. I was doing some online sourcing of stuff. I did buy from my minifigure guy 2 times. I imagine that's the majority of it, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But I'm expecting, there's somebody I might be buying their Bricklink store out. So January might see a spike, but I'm hoping February, March, $200. Just give myself a little budget of $200-400 and say, all right, that's all you're allowed to spend. And then just kind of burn through all this stuff that I've been working on. Shipping supplies. I didn't have to buy any for December. That's good. But we spent $1,435.02. And again, as Bricklink does more and more, I expect that to go down and down. Buying a crap ton of bubble mailers is far cheaper than having to buy different size boxes. Is it going to fit in that? Is it going to fit in this? I could probably buy 2 sizes of bubble mailers and just be done. I could probably buy enough for a year and just be done for the year. And then I also buy bubble wrap. And I use less and less of that. Selling Bricklink stuff versus if I sell a Nintendo 64, I gotta wrap it all up. Is it secured? Anyways. Other expenses, refunds. When I buy more of these, just other things that don't fit in any of the other categories. $173. Sorry, I went wild. $173.87. And that's because I did buy a bunch of these behind me. And, for the year, $2,803.53. We are also going to see that number decrease dramatically, because after I moved, I didn't have to get a storage unit anymore. So I emptied my storage unit. I think I was out of it in July. And yeah, you can see July, $235, June, $343, January, $348. So, again, this year, that number should be dramatically lower. And all the money that was being put into a storage unit, I can put into storage in here. So what does that give us? Net for December, $2,596.45. And then for the year, $23,391.39. About let's call it $8. $608.61. Short of my intended $24,000. But hey, I did better than last year. Last year was $23,121. 2022 was $21,889, and 2021 was an outlier year. I did $30K, but I was selling anything and everything, and it was messy. So I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore. Cool. So that's where I sit for 2024, and we got lots of goals for 2025. We're already nailing it. I set a goal of posting bare minimum $100 a day in the store on Bricklink, and we're at 284.44. I'm recording this on the 3rd, so I'm $16 short. $16 short of doing that. And like, that's so easy to fix. I can fix that in a heartbeat. And that's because I actually like took the 1st off and didn't, I did my shipping that day, but I didn't like post anything or any of that jazz. I will make that up incredibly easily. So yeah, year over year, doing better and better, getting more efficient and making a little more money at the same time. I would like, so here's the thing, like, life just gets more expensive, right? We got a house, we got a car payment, and health insurance is going up. I have an overspending problem. We've talked about this several times. I want to get that under control while simultaneously increasing sales, because I want to nail 30,000 this year without question. I just want to, like, I did it, it's done. Like, if I could hit that in November, that would mean a lot for my family, because it means I could pay myself a little bit more to help cover these additional expenses. I feel it's doable. One, because this is taking over as the primary source of income. So that means anything that sells on eBay should be extra. So that feels good. 2, my expenses are continuing to decrease business-wise, so that's exciting. And I feel more focused and disciplined than ever. I feel I'm not going to thrift stores, so I'm not going to be tempted to like buy random stuff anymore. Although I have been getting the itch to do a big thrift day, we'll see. I think YouTube will continue to make more and more money, and that's something, it doesn't require any monetary investment, it's just a time investment. So that's really cool. What else? I think that kind of covers 2024. I think that should put a nice little button on it. And I'm ready to move on as we figure this stuff out. What do you think? How is your 2024? Are you doing anything for 2025? It's been a wild journey, y'all. I did not expect Lego to become essentially a career. I very much like backed up into it, very unintentionally. Well, now everything's intentional, but when I found it, it was very unintentional. So it's a cool thing to be rediscovering Lego. It's a cool thing to this thing that I love to mess around with as a kid has become like a source of income, and my kid is now starting to get like interested in it. We built a little dog thing together, and he's only 3, but I can tell that we're gonna have a lot of fun together with this stuff, and I'm excited for that. Anyways, rambling now. I'll catch y'all next time. Have a good one. Love you. Bye.